These central banking digital currencies are being put into play for the purpose of totalitarian rule and control. Understand that for a second. And by the way, CBDCs are not, they absolutely are not the end game. They are a means to an end. We are in a spiritual battle, folks, and that battle is getting hard. It's getting hellacious. It's getting difficult. It's beyond the capacity for so many people to be able to understand because of the nature of what actually exists. But understand how critically important it is for us not to ignore these matters. What we are watching with the bank collapse is a direct result of something that was planned by the government that houses those banks. Flashbang is not sophisticated enough to be able to plan something so destructive. He's barely sophisticated enough to listen to the handlers that are telling him what to do. But the new world order that is emerging as a result of a series of people who live in not so secret societies anymore is becoming what is prominent here, and it cannot be ignored. Folks, understand this. The CDBC movement that we're seeing happening right now, and I'm beginning to call it a movement because it's very cultish-like, is actually one that is predicated upon the fears of people in society concerning future bank insolvencies. Do you honestly think they're going to go to CDBCs by simply saying, hey, this is a better way to do things. We're going to be able to control you. We're going to rule you. We're going to be able to determine what you buy and what you can't buy based on what we want you to buy or not buy. You think people are going to just go with that? Heck no, they're not going to go with that. There's no way. You're crazy if you think it's going to move in that direction. The way that they're going to get people to do this is by getting them to the place where they start to panic about what is going to happen with the money they've worked so hard for their whole lives. They couldn't get people to panic by the mechanism of inflation that was deployed. That wasn't enough to get everybody all lit up. What did everybody start doing? Well, I'll just make sure my bank balances are below the FDIC limit. And now people aren't even keeping their bank balances below the FDIC limit because the last two major bank insolvencies that we've seen, which by the way, the last two were probably 100 billion more than everything that we saw in 2008. That's the last two. The last two bank insolvencies, all of those depositors were covered, even if they had $100 million in their accounts, by FDIC as a strategic decision to stop a bank run from happening. Well, if they want to destroy cash, why wouldn't they want a bank run? Because if they have a bank run, then they destroy the banking system that is supposed to deploy the CDBC. They don't want to destroy that banking system. They want to bring over a conversion. So how are they going to do it? They're going to get people to panic about the stability of their money, losing 30% on the dollar, 40% on the dollar, 50% on the dollar. Wasn't enough to get them to start panicking. Matter of fact, a lot of people actually just started buying a bunch more garbage. Terrible mistake to make, by the way. It sounds bad to say this, but the smartest thing to do at this point would have been to have incurred more debt in real property. It sounds a little crazy to say, but it protects you from the inflationary mechanisms that continue to be deployed by these people who want to destroy your income. These central banking digital currencies are being put into play for the purpose of totalitarian rule and control. Understand that for a second. And by the way, CBDCs are not, they absolutely are not the end game. They are a means to an end. Where CBDCs are going to end up going, where they are beginning to move, is in the direction of something that the IMF has not only worked on, but has deployed, and that is a global currency, a central global currency. Think about where it's going. Look, folks, the way they're going to get people to buy into the CBDC world, the way that that is going to happen is by preying on their fears. Isn't it amazing to me how so many people look at this stuff and say, oh, that pastor's crazy, or oh, that's nuts. Folks, the reason why it's that way is because all of this is satanic. Can we please get that through our heads? Can we please get it through our heads that the enemy is a liar and he is doing everything that he can to lie to us? I kick and I scream about this because it's real and it's true.